How you doing, Scotty Bear? Back with another video. In this video about I help four-figure entrepreneurs go where they're treated best. I got that line from a YouTuber called Andrew Henderson. He likes to say, I help 5 and 6-figure entrepreneurs go where they're treated best and give them advice as to where to get passports and where to go in tax shelters and stuff like that, uh, which I don't believe are worth it, by the way. And I do know the United States taxes your income wherever you go, but still, I really believe that if you got loads and loads of money, of course, the United States is very convenient, but however, the cost to even live in the United States might drive the 4 and 5 figure people who make this amount of money out of the country quicker than maybe somebody who makes, $1 million a year or a couple $100,000 a year. I mean, maybe even they have a physical business in the United States to make this money. I mean, really only about 5% of the population make over $100,000 a year. You got to figure some percentage of them still require them to be present in the United States. Besides, I mean, if I had all the money, that I wanted to make $1 million a year, I'd probably live in San Francisco. I mean, mainly because I love the look over the bay and the weather, nice cool temperature, and so I mean that seems to be the part of the world I'd want to live. Ironically, it's also super expensive, but I do believe that people on lower income salaries and families, I mean families especially, because it's not too crazy, say, to take your family to live in South America. I mean, you can put your kids in school. You can live in Colombia. You can live in Mexico, Panama, all over the world. I mean, is definitely easier to get by. I mean, even some of the dental work that I get in places like Mexico, in Bangkok, where I see a dentist for $4, I simply wouldn't be able to give myself the best care. I mean, and the care that I get down here is, reasonably good. Another good example of this is, the Philippines. The Philippines is probably the cheapest place on earth uh, to live, I bet. I haven't been everywhere. Probably that and Cambodia and Laos. And I feel like Americans will move to these places. I mean, even the place I lived at in El Paso, Texas, which was easily one of the most affordable places I've ever lived. However, I've also gotten reports that kind of right behind me, the prices jumped a little bit. And they were going to raise my rent too, but I mean, only a little bit. But with, like, you frankly can't live in California unless you make a ridiculous amount of money. One thing interesting that may become a trend and maybe you could look at is some sort of micro dwelling. It would seem unlikely. There's still places available, but it would seem unlikely it would get as extreme as like Hong Kong. They literally, I stayed for about $100 a night in a in a motel. Literally, I could take my arms and put my hand on both sides of the wall. That was pretty tight quarters for how just even like a Motel 6 is, so spacious, and, couch and all these things. But I would think that Americans may start moving to places like the Philippines, Vietnam, and down south into Latin America. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful February 9th.